When I was in my early teens, my dad would drag us to Kentucky every chance he got. It seemed to me most of our trip was spent driving. Finally, we would arrive to my Aunt Lainey's house. God, I loved her. She had 9 kids. My cousin Ronnie decided he would tell us about an urban legend called the Lady of Trace Licking Hollow, or Holler as he pronounced it. Ronnie shared the following with us. Up on the outer ridge of this hollow, way above the tree line, lived a bitter old woman who hated everyone and everything. She was so full of hate that she started terrorizing her neighbors. She would steal people's pets and do God knows what with them. When she would pass a neighbor on the road, she would try to take a swipe at them as they walked along the roadside. As this woman got older, she started looking into people's windows, scaring everyone, but she would always disappear by the time any of the family came out of their house. Then one family decided they had enough. The father grabbed his hunting rifle and made the hike up to the ridge where the old lady lived. When he entered her property, something wasn't right. It was too quiet. Then he saw her lying out in the middle of her small garden, dead. Dead for a very long time. How could she still be terrorizing the whole hillside if she was dead? Ronnie also told me to stay away from the windows in the deepest part of night. I said okay, thinking this was just a ploy to get me to go to sleep and not get out of bed. You see, I'm a night owl. My mother says I've been that way since I was very young. So I walked upstairs and got in bed, but I couldn't fall asleep, so I started reading a book I brought. The last sound I remember hearing were the wind chimes outside at 3 a.m. I turned over to look toward the window, and I froze. There in the second-floor bedroom window was the most hideous face I had ever seen. Matted long hair, skin so thin that some of it was there and some just wasn't. Red eyes, yellow teeth, and on the hag's head were horns. I was frozen. I didn't know what to do. I threw the blankets over my head and just kept praying the old hag would go away. The next morning, I came down for breakfast, and my aunt looked at me and asked how I slept. I said, okay, I guess. When my aunt left the room, my cousin Ronnie looked at me and said, Buffy, she always knows what's going on in her holler. Maybe it was all a dream, or maybe it was just some terrible nightmare. Either way, I don't think I'll ever forget that face staring at me through the window.